Hi and welcome to Student Record Data Entry System with a search function. Now I'm going to show you guys how this works. Supposing we want to enter new data, we can always reset and enter new student data there. And if you notice, as soon as you enter the student ID, it's automatically converted to a barcode here that is stored. And then we can then enter the student name. Let's say the student name is Davis Johnson, and there, so we need to enter the mode of studies. Let's assume he's a full-time student, and that is what he has to pay there. Now those are the details of Davis Johnson, and if you guys look straight into this list box there, you will notice the details of David Johnson is not on the system. I'm now going to add the details of David Johnson. Click on add and let's scroll right down, and there we go. That's the details of David Johnson right there. The other thing that we can do with this system is we can decide to search for a candidate. Let's assume we want to search for the following student. Search, and that's a Captain Allen, and he happens to be taking a part-time course with us. And if you come right down here, you will notice there's two records of Captain Allen right there, and we can always make use of our delete button. Delete, and let's scroll right down. The details of Captain Allen here, and that is it right there. And the other thing you can do is we can use our spin navigator. Look at that. Okay, and we can, there we go, and there, that is Dynamic Hunter. Let's see with the spin navigator. Now let's update the details of Dynamic Hunter. Supposing the student ID is incorrect. Okay, that is Dynamic Hunter in there, so let's just enter maybe 45 and click on update. Yes, confirm that, and let's check for that Dynamic Hunter. That must have been changed. That is it right there. It's now changed to 45 right there. Okay, and we also have another one here, which means we can always delete that one. There, gone, as you can see. And we have more than one grace, more, delete. And if we go straight onto the workbook, we should be able to see all of the changes that we've carried out there. And right there, that's Alan and that's Davis. And let's start work with a new project. So I'm going to exit out. There we go, and let me minimize this, and I'm going to copy all of these data that I have in here so that I can use them. So let's select it all, copy, and just minimize and paste it right here. This is going to be my new project. Alright, okay, let's save this very one file, and let's save it as Excel macro enable, and I'm just going to call that students. Maybe we should go for student database search, Excel students data entry, with search function. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to change the save type as, let's come in here and just change that to Excel macro enable. There we go. Alright, and let's click on save. There we go, right there. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go straight to the developer. Okay, if you don't have the developer, I will advise you to go straight to the file and select options, inside the options, this dialog pops up. Select customize ribbon, and right there, that will be your developer. If it's unchecked, make sure it's checked, and if it's not here, just search for it here. Okay, so let's click on OK. There, select my developer tool, and that is my new project. This is the old one. So right in here, I'm just going to right click and select insert, or we can even close all of this. Let me close all of that so that you guys see how to start it entirely. So I'm going to close all of these. Let's close everything, and that is it, gone. Okay, this is the new one. So let's go back to developer, Visual Basic, and let's go to insert right here. Select insert and select user form. There. Now let's change the size of this user form. The height, I'm going to make the height about 800, and the width, let's make the width 1000 plus. Let me move this up so that you guys can see it. Yes. Right here, that's the width, and now I'm going to make that 1040. There we go. There, done. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do now is, since I'm here, I might as well just change the back color. Drop that down, and let's go to palette and select green. There. Now double click on this to peg it down here. Just double click. There we go. It's right there. There, grab the tools. Okay, and let's just position this where it's meant to be. Drop it there. Alright, now where is the tools? That is the tools. I need base frame, and I'm going to change the color of that frame to something lighter. Let's go to the back color here, drop that down and select something lighter. Get rid of the text on it. Where is the text? That's it. On the caption here, just get rid of that. Right, now the next thing that I want to do is, let's kind of like extend it that much. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to copy this very one. Let's just grab and copy it. Hold on to the control, copy, and just paste it here. Drag it that much. Okay, the next thing is I'm going to add a list box. I believe this is a list box. Grab that and just drag it right here. That's my list box there in position. There we go. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to add buttons. Alright, let's select one button here. And I'm going to change the properties of these buttons as follows. You see the width, I'm going to make that about 90, and let's go for the heights right here. Change the height to maybe about 40. That is fine. And the text content on it, let's change that to maybe 14 bold. 14 bold. There. And this very text itself, let's change the data in there to maybe add new. There we go. And I'm also going to change this very button. Let's change the background color of that button to something green, and the text content on it, I'm going to change that to something lighter. That's good. Alright, now this very button, I will now copy it. Hold on to your control, click and drag. We have 2, we have 3, and right here I'm going to need another type of button. This is the spin button. As it's called, spin button. So I'm going to make that exactly the same height. That will be, the width will be 90 and the height will be 40. There we go. Right, so I need 3 more buttons on this side, 1, 2, and 3. Just copy them, click, drag, and drop it right here. There. Now these buttons that I'm selecting, I'm going to change their color to something brighter. There we go. And the text content, let's change that to black. There. And now let's change this text. Click on that. That will be known as update. And this we change that to reset. And here I must change that to print, delete, exit. There. And that's all there is to that. So let's copy this very button. I'm going to need one more button. So if this is, there's going to be white here, so I'm going to copy this. So that's fine. And in here, let's add a text box for my search. Right. And this very one, this is going to be, let's change that to search. There we go. That's it, all done. There. So if I run this thing now, this is how it's looking. It's coming up nicely. So end that. And in here I don't need the following. I'm going to need a list box. I need a text box, a list, a label. Just select that and copy and drag. There we go. And one more here for the address. Then we need 3 here, 1, 2, and 3. Let's copy those. Click, drag, and drop. And another here, drag and drop. So I'm just going to speed up the design of the interface and get back to you guys. Okay, the design of my interface is ready, and let me just run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. Click and run. There we go. However, there's nothing happening here. Here I've added 3 combo box. So let's exit out. Now I'm going to double click on the form itself, and right here, instead of form click, I'm going to select form initialize. There. And right inside the form initialize, let's do something first. You see right up here, I'm going to declare as follows. That would be explicit, actually. Option explicit. Right. And now we declare a variable that I will call, let's say dim updates data. That's it. And that is going to be integer. Yeah, that's a global variable there called integer. Okay. Now, for the form initialize, I'm going to enter the following data for my combo box. So the very first one, I'm going to call that, it's called CMB. Let's say member type. No, it's students. Okay, it's actually called student mode of, or mode of study. There. So for the mode of study, I'm going to say dot add item, and the very first item, I'm just going to make that empty. There, that will give me a space right on top. Now copy that, and I'm going to enter as follows: 1, 2, 3, maybe one more. Okay, now the next one is going to be full-time study, part-time study, and here I'm going to make that, let's say, sandwich course, and this one is going to be distance learning. Distance learning. That's it, done. So for the next one is going to be CMD proof. So with the proof of ID, let's say dot add as well, and the very first one will be nothing as well. Okay, let's copy that. Copy. Let's copy it all here. Press enter. And let's change this one. The very first one, your proof of ID is going to be driving license, and followed by pilot license, and let's go for maybe student ID, bank statement, yeah, that's valid. And finally, I'm going to make this one passport. No, not password, passport. There. Okay, that is 2 taken care of. Now the last one, I'm just going to make that the student fees. I think I called that CMB fees. The fees or fee. Let's say dot. No, maybe it's fees. Dot. Yeah, it is fees. Okay. The first value is going to be nothing. And let's just move this down a little bit. Yeah. So, okay, that will do. Now let's make this £125 into 5, and we can make this maybe about 75. And here that can be maybe 31, and we have one more, and this is going to be about, let's make that about 12 something, 12.45. Right, there we go. That's it, all done. Okay, so now if I run it, this is how it's going to look like. Let's just click on run, and there we go. So I can select whatever in there. So that's taken care of. You see this one? Let me take care of this. The student ID and date. So what I'm going to do is, when the student ID, so let's double click on student ID here and just enter txt barcode dot text. That will be equals reference equals ref dot text. So if I run that now, okay, but before I run that, let me come in here. You see this very one, we have to change that, the data type, sorry, the font, we have to change it to barcode. Make sure it's changed to barcode. Make sure you have installed barcode on your system. Okay, so I'm going to run it now. Just enter whatever student reference in there. That is it right there. Okay, and if you don't know how to install the barcode, that's quite easy. All you need to do is to go to, let's see if we can get you guys straight to the site right here. It's called, that's it, that the font.com, and this is it right here. Just click on this C, and when you click on the C, and this is it, you can just install. This is the very one that I'm using. You can just click on download. Once you download it, you click on download, and I'm going to just open that up. Open. Let's get it open so that you guys see how it's done. I'm right in here inside my download, and that is it right there. Okay, you make sure you extract it. Once it's extracted, double click on it, and you just hit on install. Once it's installed, that's what you need to do. Okay, that's how you install the barcode. Alright, that is taken care of. At the end of this program, I will actually include the URL for you guys. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to go back straight into my initialize. So first thing I want to do is, let's press enter. I'm going to, the variable that I declared right up here that I call update, grab that, and I'm going to make the value in there 10 equals 10. Now I now want to assign as follows. So I'll say txt ref dot text equals cell, which is going to be the very first cell for me, and I'm going to say update, comma 1, close that, dot text. So that is for my very text. That will be for the very first column. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the next one, so I can copy this and just change names around. And the next one is going to be first name. Surname here, that's 2, and this is 3, and this is surname. Let's change that to surname. Here we have address underneath here, and underneath the address is going to be the postcode. And after that, I'm going to go for telephone number. And let's change the numbers around. That's 4, 5, 6, and so on, guys. So I need to add another 3 more here. Might as well just copy all of these. Let's copy and paste it right underneath here, so that we can speed up things. Alright guys, that is it, all done now. But I just noticed something here. My variable here, I call it updates date. That I wanted to write update data. So I'm just going to copy, because all of these also have the name. They also have the name update date. So just hold on to Control H and let's change it to the right name. Updates data. There. Replace it. Yep, that is it, all done. Okay, it now makes sense to me. Alright, since that is done, take a good look at it, my lines of code so far, and this is for form initialize. So what I've just done in here is I have called each of the cell on my workbook. Each of these cells has now been called. So minimize that. Okay, so if I run it, this is what you guys will see. There, you see that? Okay, but we need to be able to then navigate and so on, and I also need to display the data on this very list box. So let's close that. Now go back to the form initialize. Inside the list box, I'm going to do as follows. But one thing, let me show you guys one thing here. You see my columns start from A to J, so I'm going to make reference to that very columns now. But the first thing is I'm going to say enter LST display. That is the name of my list box dot column count, this very one. I'm going to specify that is 10. If you guys look at it, I have 10 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, minimize that, all come right here. Now we know it's 10, that's why I enter 10 in there. So I'm now going to look for the source of data. So let's say LST display dot record row source, that is equals A1 column up to J, let's say 3, let's make it 65,356. Okay, just all the way. You can reduce this figure, but this is the most important bit in there for us to know the column, and that's all there is to it. So if I run it now, I should be able to see all my record on my list box. As you can see, look at that. So that is that taken care of. Now let's double click on exit. Inside exit, I'm going to declare as follows: dim I exit as VB message box result, and the VB message I exit equals as follows. Grab that, drop it in here, and say equals message box. Just going to be confirm if you want to exit. There, that's my first argument. Now the second argument, that is going to be VB question plus VB yes or no. There. And the next one is just going to be my title, so we can just call it student record. There we go. There. Now we have 4 arguments in there, so I'm just going to press enter. The next thing I want to do now is I'm going to use if statement. If I exit equals VB yes, then unload me. That's it, done. And just say end if. Alright, that is the if statement taken care of for my exit. So if I run it now, instead of the system just exiting you out straight away, it actually prompts you to confirm if you want to exit. Confirm if you want to exit. No, because you made a mistake. Confirm if you want to exit. Yes, I do want to exit. That is it, taken care of, done. Double click on delete. Okay, with the delete, I'm going to declare a variable. I'm just going to call that I as integer. There we go. Press enter. And I'm going to then use a for loop for I equals 1 to the range of my record that I have on the system. So the record is going to start from A up to 65,356. There. Dot. Let's close that properly. Dot. And X row up. There we go. Close that. Dot. No. Dot. Row -1. There. That's it, taken care of. Okay. The reason why I make it 1 is so that it doesn't delete the title. Okay. So now let's use an if statement then. If lst display dot selected text, and what we're talking about is the variable I, then rows plus, so row, let's come in here, row I plus 1 dot select. There. And in that case, selection dot delete. And if. And we need to also next I. Okay, that takes care of delete. That is fine. There. Okay, let's try out this delete. Let's run it. And I'm going to look for any duplicated data in there. Let's see. Is there any duplicated one? Yeah, there's it. That's it right there. Johnny Lagos. Hit on delete. Okay, we do have an error. and that should actually be rows with an S, not row, rows there. Okay, let's try it out again and look for Johnny Lagos again. Let's come back down. There we go. Try it again. There we go. That's it. It's working. We only have just one Johnny Lagos left. Okay then. Now let's take care of reset. This very one, or maybe print even. Let's take care of reset. Double click on reset. With the reset, I'm going to declare the following. I'm going to call it txt because all the prefix for each of my components do have txt in front of them. For each txt in, I need to now know the frame, the name of my frame. So let's just assume it's going to be frame 2 dot control. I'm going to check that out, which frame I'm talking to. Alright, if type of txt is ms forms dot text box, then I don't want you to clear whatever I have inside txt equals clear, and if, and I'm also going to get that next step. There we go. Alright, and I also need to clear, let's clear the other ones. That would be cmb fees dot text equals clear. cmb prove dot text, get it cleared as well. And the last one is this very one here. Grab that. I think the name is too long on that. Dot text equals clear. Okay, now let's see what else do I have in there, and what is the name of this frame. It's frame number 2. That is good. Okay then, I have, alright, that should take care of that. So let's run it and see. Okay, click on clear. Where's clear? There we go. That's fine. So clear is working as well. Alright, now what I want to try and achieve is to print, search, navigate, and update and add new. So let's start with that of, okay, let's go for print. In the case of print, all I'm just going to do in there is application dot dialog. So I'm going to ask you to print from the workbook, and that is going to be x dialog print setup. So let's look for x dialog print setup p. Okay, let's just type it out. Dialog, and that will be print pr somewhere here. Come on, print setup. There we go, and close that. Dot show. Right, and what I want you to print is going to be this workbook. Dot sheets, and that is going to be sheet 1. I only have data on my sheet 1 anyway, so let's just say sheet 1 and close that. Dot print print out copies. One copy. Let's make that one column equals 1. There. That's all for the print. Okay, now let's take care of this search. Okay, first of all, let me declare the following variable: dim I search. I'm going to call that as, let's go for long, and I as long as well. Okay, let's initialize I search here. We're going to initialize that with the worksheet. So equals work equals worksheet, and that should be, let's say the sheet is going to be sheet number 1. That's the only sheet I have data anyway, so let's put a 1 there and close that up. Let's say dot range, and it's going to be starting from A1, close that, dot current region, dot rows dot count. There. Now I'm now going to use the for loop. So let's say for I equals 1, 2. I am searching from 1 because if I say from 0, that means it's going to be searching for the title as well. So we don't want to have anything to do with searching of the title. Okay, now let's ask it to trim sheet 1 dot cells I, comma 1. If it's not equals to, then get it trimmed. So what we're trimming is going to be inside txt search box dot text there, and I equals search I search. Then let's come down here and see. Alright, one more bracket is missing here. Let's close that off. Okay, now let's use a message box. Let's just say if it's not in the system, we just say it's invalid. Come on, get that right. Invalid data. Close that. Okay, else I'll just say search txt search. Is that underneath here? Dot text, and we want to clear it straight away and let it get focus as well. Set focus. There we go. And if. So that's what's going to happen if there's nothing in there. Okay, if there's nothing, display this message, clear whatever data you have in the text box, and set the focus again straight inside this search text box. Okay. However, if there's data in there, so let me grab all of these again up to, let's just grab everything here and paste it right underneath here. There. In this case, if trim and whatever data we have inside the sheet itself is not equals to, and this then is equal to, this should be equals to, if it's equals to whatever data we have in here, I'm going to get rid of this, then okay, so if whatever we have on the sheet is equals to what we have inside the text box, this text box is called search, then I want the following to happen. So all of my data that I have inside I might as well just grab all of these and just change it around. Grab every single one of these, all of these, grab them, come right here and paste it right underneath here. Okay, and change this to sheet 1 dot cell dot cell, and that cell is going to be I1. Get rid of these there, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for the others. So let's grab this, should be dot text here. Okay, I'm missing my text in the other one, so right, and here grab all of these and just change it around to, that will be text number 2, I2, and the next one is going to be I3, I comma 3, I comma 4, and so on. There. We have 5 here, 6, 7, 8, and we have 9. That's 8. Come on, 8, and we have 9 here, and we have 10. There we go. So finally, we now need to exit. Let's exit the loop. Exit 4 and end if, and I'm also going to get the I nested, and that should take care of my search there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is let me just try it out and make sure it's working as expected. Okay, let's run it. Run, and I'm going to enter whatever in there. Nope, doesn't exist. So let's look for something here. I'm going to go for 97771, and I also expect this to change. There we go, look at that, 97771, and that is it right here, and that's 9771. So the search is working, exit working, delete works, that works. Okay, we now need to take care of 1, 2, and 3. Okay, exit out. Let's take care of the navigation button now. Double click on the navigator there. For the spin button, I'm going to declare the following. Then I've just called that C1, comma C2. Those are my variables. I will now say spin button 1. So using an if statement, if spin button 1 dot value, if it's less than 1, then what we want the system to do is C2 will be equals spin button 1 dot value C1 equals A and C2. There, that's the very first one. Now we then say txt reference dot control source equals C1. That is it. Okay, and we now repeat exactly the same thing for the others. So the next one is going to be C1 equals A and C2. So that is going to be, no, we actually need to get the next text box. So the next one should be B. Then we'll get the next text box. The next text box that I have in there, that's going to be for the surname, first name. Txt first name dot control source equals C1, and that is now going to be C1 equals C and C2. C2. So this should be uppercase. There. Okay. Now the next one that I have is going to be surname. Copy that and just paste that here. Surname. And right here, guys, those are the lines of code for the spin button. Take it from the variables that I declare here up to here and there. Okay, so have a good look at it. Bring it down. Okay, so what we then need to do now, let's come back here. We now need to take care of, I don't think we've taken care of reset. Double click on reset. Yeah, I have done that. Okay, that's good. Right, then I need to take care of the updates and then add new record. Double click on update. Okay, with the update, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to declare, let's say dim update. I'm going to call it as VB message. There. And my updates, let's enter a message here, paste that in there, and whatever message I have in there, I can just even copy that from my text from the exit. Let's come straight to exit, double click on exit, copy all of this right there. Or we can just copy it. Okay, let's just copy this, go back to update, double click on update, paste that in here. There we go. And all I'm just going to say is confirm you want to update maybe the record or there. Okay, so that's taken care of. Confirm if you want to update the record. So I have question and I have yes or no, and that's student record. Okay, now let's say if update equals VB yes, then I want the following to happen. Cell update data. If you guys can still recall the variable that I declared earlier, update data, update data, comma 1, and that is going to be equals txt reference dot text. That is the very first one. Now I'm just going to copy and paste. I have 10 in total. Undo the next one that I just press enter, enter, enter. Grab that, paste, change the numbers around. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There, I will now change the name of each. So that is going to be end if. So let's change the names here. So this is going to be first name here. Then we have surname. Here we have address. Postcode. Telephone. Registration date or reg dates, like I called it. Then I have here CMB proof of identification. Then we have CMB. I can't remember that one. It's long. So this one is going to be CMB fees, and the other one is, there we go, mode of studies. Copy it all. Right, come down here and just paste that here, and that's takes care of update. So take a good look at it from here down here. That's my update lines of codes. I'm going to try it out, save first, and let's just run. And let's say we want to update some data of dynamic hunter. Okay, let's change this to 2001. Okay, 2020. Okay, so we've changed that to 2020. Let's look for dynamic data. That's dynamic data there, and let's click on update. Confirm if you want to update. Let's see what's going to happen there. Oh, look at it, it's right here. Alright, we seem to have two. Okay, one is changed. This very one has changed. Okay, we can get rid of one. This one that we don't need. Get rid of that. Yeah, so that's dynamic hunter there. Okay, let's change it again. I'm going to change everything to that, and let's click on updates. Now let's see what's going to happen. Let's change it to something we can see. ABC. And click on update. Now let's see what's going to happen there. It's there somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it's right on. There's another one. Okay, that's it right there. Change. Okay, that's the update. Alright, so update is working now. Let's take care of add new. So let's come in here, double click on that, add new records. Okay, with the add new record, let's declare as follows: dim worksheet, that's WKS, as worksheets, not workbook. Let's call it worksheets there. Now dim new, add new as range. There we go. Now I'm going to now set WKS worksheet equals sheet number 1. Okay, I'm also going to set add new, no space, add new, that is equals worksheet.range, and the range is A to 65,356. Close that. Dot end, open a bracket, and we're gonna say up and then get it offset. Get it offset. Dot offset. That will take you to the next line, comma 0 there. Okay, that's fine. So we now need to add new to offset. Add new dot offset, starting from 0, comma 0 as the very first one, dot value equals the very first item, which is my reference dot text there. That is that taken care of. So we now need to take care of the others. So I'm going to copy this, copy, and let's paste it. Press enter. Okay, we have 5. Copy all of these and paste there. So this will be 1 because it's in form of an array. 2, 3. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is it. I have 10. If you guys can still recall. Now this one is going to be first name. Then we have surname. Then this is address. Postcode. We have telephone here. Dates, date of registration. That's what I meant in there. Then we have proof. CMB proof. And this one is going to be CMB fees. And this one, that's the long name that I have. CMB, what did I call it? There we go. CMB mode of studies. Alright, that's CMB mode of studies. There we go. And that's it. That is my add new record taken care of as well. I can't see any error so far. Hopefully that's it. So have a good look at the lines of code for add new, and let's take it from the top. Variable declared, print add new data. Let's add new, and here we have delete, lines of code for delete. We have exits, and here reset. The search function all the way down here. Then we have update. Take it down. Then we have the navigator bar, the spin button, and we have the reference that stored the data straight into the barcode text box from the student reference itself. Then finally we have the initialize there, and bring it all down, and that is it. So let's run the system now, then we can call it the end of the whole project. Okay, and let's click on reset to enter new data. There we go. So let's say the student ID is 99009, and the name of this very student, I'm going to call it Peace. There we go. And the address of Peace Omen, we're going to make that number 17, Little Venice Road. It's a big town. London. There. And the postcode. Telephone number. And dates. Let's make that. Yeah, why not? Proof of ID. Let's say passport and full time and that. And there we go. So all we then need to do now is to click on add. Click on add. Let's make sure there's nothing there called Peace. Okay, now add. There we go, guys. Let's see. I believe that's, there we go. That's Peace Omen. Okay, and that is it, guys. That is how you create your own student record data entering form in Excel using VBA. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial, and please do subscribe to my channel. You can also join to become a member of the channel. There's a lot of benefit if you're a member. So I'm going to say bye for now. Bye.